Okay, so in the paired sample t-test, okay, we conduct the test for differences of sample data. Okay, uh, something like in the yesterday's test, we assumed that the samples are independent. The samples are independent and they are drawn from different populations, and those populations are having a normal distribution, with the assumption that both are having the equal variances. Okay, whereas sometimes samples may be dependent, samples may be dependent. um, so in that case you cannot apply the test that we discussed yesterday. Okay, so yesterday's test is applicable only for when samples are independent and when the populations are having equal variances and the populations are normally distributed. And when the samples are dependent, when the sample data is dependent, we use paired sample t-test. Okay, and there are several situations where we get the where we have the samples which are dependent. For example, a particular person is suffering with a disease. Okay, or let us say BP. Generally, most of the people, elder people, will be having blood pressure, right? High blood pressure. Okay, so whether a particular tablet or a particular medicine is effective in treating that, in controlling the blood pressure or not. Okay, so before taking that tablet, what was the blood pressure? After taking the blood. After taking the medicine, what is the blood pressure? You make a make a note of those observations. Okay, so like that you keep on recording the data for some n number of days, let us say 10 days or 11 days or 12 days, and then test whether the medicine is really effective in treating the in controlling the blood pressure. Similarly, in weight reduction, okay, or food supplies, okay, and several other cases, okay, you will have the situation before and after, okay, before and after a particular process. You may have to observe, note down the observations and compare the observations, okay, and from that you may want to draw some conclusions, okay, whether that particular process is really effective, okay, in dealing with the data or not. Okay, that if you want to know, then we apply paired sample t-test. Okay, so I'll be sharing the screen now. Can you see the screen today? It is visible, right? So you have a data, something like uh, before, whenever you have a data before a particular process, and you have collected the data after that particular process. Okay, so let us say these are the values x1, x2, x3, and so on. Let us say xn is the data obtained before applying a particular process, and let us say y1. Don't write, just listen. Let us say after applying a particular process, you are getting the new data, say y1, y2, y3, and so on, yn. Okay, and we want to compare these two data. We want to compare these two data. Okay, and not by applying difference of means test, because in that case we observe that the sample observations are independent, but here the sample observations are dependent. That's why we don't apply difference of means test, but we are going to apply paired sample t-test. That means what? You take the difference of these each pair of data. Okay, you take the difference of before and after observation data, before and after observation data. Like that, how many pairs of differences, how many pairs of data is there? There are n pairs. From each pair you can find out one difference. Let us say D1 is x1 minus y1, D2 is x2 minus y2 and so on, Dn is xn minus yn. Okay, this the difference can be positive or negative or zero, because I am taking Di as xi minus ya. Di as xi minus ya, where I equals to 1 to n. Okay, so if there is no difference, okay, if the process is not effective, then what will be the expected mean? Okay, and first difference may be positive, second difference may be negative, third difference, fourth difference may be positive, last difference may be negative. Okay, if you think that the particular process has no effect on the data before and after that process, then what is your expected mean of the differences? Let us say the data is like this: 25, okay, 26, 28, let us say 30, okay, 24, okay, 24, 27, okay, uh, 30, 28. What is the difference? What is the signed difference? 25 minus 24 is 1, and 26 minus 27 is minus 1, 28 minus 30 minus 2, 30 minus 28 2. Then what is the average of these differences? 0, right? So on the whole, if you see, there is no much difference. Okay, so some are increasing, some are decreasing. On an average, you may say that there is not much change in the before data and after data. Okay, and if there is a large change, large difference, okay, if the mean is some positive, some 10, or if it is minus 20, then you may say that there is a significant change in the data. Okay, because of these numbers. Okay, so that we are going to test. Okay, so we are going to test whether the mean of these differences, okay, is equal to a particular value or not. Okay, generally that particular value will consider it as 0. If you consider it as 0, then process is not effective. Or if you say mean of these differences is particular value, that means you are telling something about the process. Okay, so that is about the claim made by the manufacturer or the person. Okay, so what we are going to test is, okay, so when this is the data, okay, you are going to find out the so what is mu? Let us assume that mu is equal to mean of the differences, mean of the uh, paid sample differences, paid sample differences. Okay, so then we'll assume, then we'll check whether this mu is equal to 0, or if you say mu equal to mu naught. Okay, against mu not equal to mu naught, or mu greater than mu naught, or mu less than mu naught. If this mu naught equal to 0, that means to say that the particular process has no effect on the data. Okay, sampled data. Okay, and if you say mu greater than 0 or mu less than 0, okay, then that means there is a significant change in the data before and after the process. Okay, so that is what we are going to see. Okay, so remember all these things we are going to do when the samples are dependent, and if the process, if the data is obtained just like before and after, kind of thing. Okay, so what is your assumption now? All of you, right? Okay, let di equal to xi minus yi, I equals to 1 2 and so on n, where xi comma yi is the failed data obtained okay, before and after a particular process, before and after a particular process. Okay, okay, so clearly yi is dependent on xi. Okay, so this data is a dependent data. Okay, so let mu equal to okay, mean of the, let mean mu equal to mean of the observed differences. Okay, or mean of the paired differences of the data. Paired differences of the data. Okay, now we want to test. Okay, now we want to apply the test. What is the test called? Paired sample t test. Okay, let me write down. The sample where see, when you see the word t, that means what? I'm actually referring to small samples. Okay, if the large samples is given, then you simply say paired sample test. Okay, paired sample test with the understanding that you are applying a large sample test. Okay, so what is your testing hypothesis? Okay, null hypothesis h naught is mu equal to mu naught, whether the mean of this paired differences is equal to a particular value or not. Against alternate hypothesis, okay, mu naught equal to mu naught, mu greater than mu naught, or mu less than mu naught. Okay, so third one, choose level of significance. Alpha and nu degree of freedom. If the sample size is n, okay, then it is going to be n minus 1. Okay, and remember because it is before and after sample size is same. Okay, so critical values. Okay, so again it depends upon the kind of test you are applying, and if it is a right one tail test, uh, T alpha. T alpha, let me write it as n minus 1. Left one tail test minus T alpha n minus 1. But in books, I have seen applying either one tail test or left one tail test or right one tail test. I haven't seen two tail test, unpaired sample t test. But there is nothing wrong in applying two tail test also. See, it's all about how you want to test. Okay, what conclusion you want to get from the data. Depending on that, you will be applying the suitable test. Okay, and what is this? Critical values test statistic. Test statistic. So what will be this test statistic? T equal to. So these are all because these are all differences. What will be the mean of their differences? They are denoted with d bar minus mu d bar divided by sigma d bar. Something like x bar minus mu x bar by sigma x bar. So d bar is also an unbiased discriminator. Therefore, so mu d bar is going to be e of d bar. E of d bar is going to be mu. So that mu we are considering it as mu naught. Okay. So I can write it as mu naught divided by. Okay. So you may write it as a s cap by root n. S cap by root n. What is S cap? Where d bar is mean of di's. And what is S cap? Or S cap square is variance of di's. Okay. And you know the decision, how to take the decision. Okay, so in case of two-tailed test, you reject. Okay. Okay. So this is about paired sample t-test. Okay. So let us. So all of you note down the first problem. Did you note down? The blood pressure of 5 women before and after intake of certain drug are given below. Okay. So before this is the data. I think there will be two measures, right? Systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure. They have shown only one. Okay. So, and after taking this particular drug, these are the blood pressures. Okay. You are asked to test whether there is a significant change in the blood pressure. Okay, so test at 0.01 level of glucose whether there is a significant change in the blood pressure. Shall we proceed? Okay. So what we do first, you prepare the signed differences. Okay. So from this, what are the signed differences? Can I copy this? Okay. So this is the data. So now you prepare the signed differences, find out the signed differences. Where is this? So what are the differences? 110 minus 20. Okay. So my problem with the so so what so what are the signed differences?
-10.
The signed differences are -10,
2,
2,
0,
0,
-4.
-4, -4, -4
Yes,
and
4.
4. Okay. Now, on what is the mean of this signed differences?
-1.6.
Mean of the above signed differences are -1.6. Okay. So minus 1.6. Okay. Now, now how you want to write the test? Okay. So when see in these situations are also to be understood. Okay. So in one case, okay, effective means in some cases if the data values are decreasing, it will be effective. In some cases, if the data values are increasing, the process will be effective. Okay. So in one case, if mu greater than 0, it will be effective. In some cases, mu less than 0, it will be effective. So in this case, which one you feel when it will be effective? The blood pressure value should decrease, right? After applying particular drug, the blood pressure values are decreasing significantly, then the particular drug is going to be effective. Am I right? So naturally, then differences must be negative, okay? And the average also will be negative. So if the negative value is significantly significant value, then we'll say it is a particular it is an effective procedure. Okay. Now you see, so here you are getting a negative value, so that's a good sign for us. So it may be an effective treatment, right? That drug may be actually treating the patients well, okay? But is that significant at 1% level of 1%? That we have to see, okay? So shall we apply left one tail test in this case? Okay, so we shall apply left one tail test, okay? How you are going to write down the test? So apply paired sample t test I'm applying t-test because the sample size is small, right? Plus paired sample t-test. Okay. So before applying paired sample t-test, please find out the variance also. So what is this minus 1.6 called? So this is actually called this must be ease. Okay. So what is this called? This is called D bar, right? These are D's. These are DIs. These are DIs. Okay. So you got D bar, which is the mean of the paired differences. You also find out S cap, SD bar. What is this? Di minus D bar whole square by n minus 1. N minus 1. And if I am applying square root, then that is going to be the standard deviation, right? So what is this? So minus 10 minus of minus 1 plus 1.6 whole square plus 2 plus 1.6 whole square like that.
Variance is 39.7.
Sir,
Uh,
it's 2 plus 1.6 whole square or 2 minus 1.6 whole square, no, sir. The di minus d bar, no, sir. You take it plus.
DI minus D bar. Yes, DI minus D bar.
But you take
Minus of
plus,
minus
no,
of minus
sir.
plus only. No? Minus of minus plus only, no?
Sir, for the 2 you take it as a plus. And for the 0 also.
And this D bar is minus
Okay,
1.6,
okay,
right?
okay, sir. Okay, sir. I got it, sir. Okay, sir.
And sample size is how much?
5.
So it has to be divided with 4.
5.549.
5. 5 point.
549. Sir.
Here it is given as did I copy the data 110, 120, 120, 118, 125, 125, 132, 136, 125, 121. Correct only. Minus 10 no 2. See, is the mean correct? Please check once. It is written as 2 here. Negative only, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0, minus 8 by minus 8, correct only. Hmm. I think they did mistake. Okay, fine. So we'll apply. Sorry. We'll apply paired sample test. Okay. What was your test? Null hypothesis. Okay. paired sample t-test. Okay, so apply null hypothesis. Okay. Okay, so first one is what? Null hypothesis. H naught. H naught. So what? How you are going to write down? Tell me. So we said we will say that there is no difference between. There is no significant difference. Okay. So mean of the paired sample differences is 0. Okay. Alternate hypothesis H1. So what? Because you are getting it as a negative value. Because we are getting it as a negative value, shall I consider it as mu less than 0? Okay, so I'll consider it as mu less than 0. Okay, so what is the level of significance given?
0.01.
0.01, and degree of freedom mu equal to n minus 1 equal to 5 minus 1 equal to 4, and critical value. So you have to apply a left one tail test. Left one tail test. Critical value. So this is going to be minus t alpha comma nu equal to minus t 0.01 comma 4 equal to, look at your t distribution table. Zero 0.01 with 4 degree of freedom, it is 3.75. 3.75, right? So it is 3.75. So minus 3.75. Okay. So next test statistic. Test statistic. Test statistic is going to be t equal to d bar minus, okay, mu naught by s cap by root m. So this is going to be d bar. How much you got? Minus 1.6 minus 0 by s cap. How much s cap? S cap is 5.54 divided by root 5. What is this value?
Minus 0.644.
So it is minus 3.75. So this is minus 3.75, and t, what is t value? What is the value you got?
Minus 0.64.
Minus
64
0.64.
minus 0. Okay, 65. Okay. So now you can see t is not falling in rejection region. Okay. So okay. So minus 0.65 is greater than
64 only,
minus.
sir.
Okay, 64. So minus 64 is greater than minus 3.75. This implies that t greater than minus t alpha. Therefore, reject. Sorry, do not reject. Do not reject. Do not reject H naught at 1% level of significance. So from this, what is your conclusion? Is it in favor of H1?
Yes.
That means there is no significant change in the blood pressures because of this particular drug at 1% level of significance. Is it clear? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So there is no significant change. So in a similar way, can I go to the next problem? Shall I proceed? Now just go through the second problem quickly. Marks obtained in mathematics by 11 students before and after intensive coaching are given below. So there is some intensive coaching is given. Okay, before the coaching marks, these are the marks obtained. I think there is some. I think this is after 16, 18. This is 21. This is 21. Okay. Copy the data quickly. And after coaching, these are the marks obtained by the students. Okay. So whether the coaching is useful or not. If it is useful, what should be the sign of the mean differences? Should it be positive or negative?
Positive.
It should be positive. Whereas so in the previous problem, the drug will be effective when the mean is negative. But here the coaching will be useful when the mean is positive. Am I right? So quickly find out these differences and find out their mean. Mean of the differences. Okay. Do it. Meanwhile, I will be. My laptop charging is low. I'll put that. So, what is the mean of the signed differences? Is it positive or negative? -24 -24 0, 17 -20 -3, 18 -22 -4. I think
Negative, sir. -1.
I think here we should in this case also I think did we misinterpret? I think see in the previous problem we should have a decrease in the data. When there is a decrease in the data, then mean must be positive, right? That here you got in the previous problem you got mean negative. See here, before it was 110, after it is 120 means BP increased actually. Instead of decreasing, BP was increased. I think our interpretation is slightly, it is exactly opposite. That is actually not correct. Right? So see, 125 to 121. So decreasing here, drug should decrease the blood pressure. When the then the value when the value is decreased, D will be positive. 125 minus 121 is 4. 4 is positive. So like that, if you are getting more positive values, then the mean will be positive. So getting positive mean is a good sign actually in this case, but you are getting a negative sign, right? So that itself is telling that it is not at all, it's not effective. In fact, it is causing damage also because of this negative mean. And whereas here, uh, so before 17, after 20 means 17 minus 20 minus 3. So we are getting a smaller value to bigger value means is a good sign, right? Marks are increasing after intensive coaching means it is a good sign. In that case, when you take the sign differences, you should get the negative value. And mean of this, if there are more negative values, then mean of the negative values may be negative, then that may be a good sign. I think my interpretation is incorrect earlier. Sorry for it. Uh, so in this case, we applied left one tail test just because of this evidence. Because you are getting a negative value, instead of making good, uh, it may harm. It may do harm. Okay. So it is not harming, and it is not doing good also. So there is no effectiveness. We cannot say it is harming, and we cannot say it is doing good also. Why? Because we how do you write the test? What test you want me to apply? You got mu positive or mu negative for the second problem?
-1, sir.
You got
Negative.
negative. So naturally, which one you want to apply? Left one tail test or right one tail test?
Left one.
Left one
Left
test.
one. Apply left one tail test. Okay. So for this differences, you find out mean and standard deviation, then apply left one tail test and check.
Can do
Okay.
after
I
minus
will
before also.
tell me.
After minus before also we can do, no sir. As marks increase, we'll get a positive
Yeah.
mean.
Then in that case, you will be applying right one tail test. That's it.
So
You
both are
understand?
correct only. We can do before.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Interpretation. See, interpretation won't change. If you want for the same problem, you take the other way. Still, you will get the same interpretation. So I said it's all depends on our understanding. See, if you write after minus before, what happens? In that case, mass should not mass should decrease, right? So it doesn't matter. You apply the other way also and check. Instead of negative value, we'll get positive value. Instead of negative critical value, we'll get a positive critical value. That's it. So I will write down this solution and send to you. And third one is decimals. Okay, third one is in decimals. Okay, do this problem carefully. Okay, so please work out these two problems. I shall post the solution of the second problem and compare your solution with the solution given by me. And if you have any doubts, you can discuss with me tomorrow. And with this, we have completed the discussion on small sample test. Look here, we have completed this t-test. Still we have to do this confidence interval for proportion. This we haven't do. We have done this test of significance for single and difference of proportions we did for large samples, and for small samples we have completed single mean, difference of means and paired sample t-test. And in the coming classes I am going to discuss about F distribution, chi-square distribution and the related tests. After completing this, we will see confidence interval for proportions. With that, your fourth unit will be over. Okay, and I'll be taking some extra classes in this week. Okay, I will let you know those slots. Okay, by discussing with your class here.